Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 2 of our amazing unnamed podcast. I am Tammi Lipp. I am your co-host today, and I'm joined by the incredible Marissa DeRosa Campbell. And we are going to have a very, very fun, very cutting edge, maybe a little taboo conversation this afternoon about women's health. And if you're not a woman, that's cool. You should still stay tuned into this because I'm sure you know a woman and you might even live with one or two. So hang out with us and talk about women's health. And I think you might expand your mind and your perspective on some very important and very hot topics for today.
Yeah, I am super pumped to be here alongside you, Tammi. As per usual, anywhere that you hang, I want to be next to you, hanging right alongside you because you're incredible. And I'm really excited to jump in today too. I mean, the whole point of this podcast is to discuss all things whole self wellness, women's wellness, spirituality, fun topics, things that people don't typically talk about, right? Why?
At least out loud.
Out loud. They might talk about it in their mind, right? And I think, for me, it's so refreshing to have a place and a space where we can just get out there and talk about the things, just talk about them. So what are we going to talk about today, Tam?
Some good old real talk about women's bodies and that lovely little phenomenon that goes on 28 days out of the month. We follow the moon, as you know. Our bodies are these beautiful biological mechanisms, and women in 4 different hormonal profiles within a 28-day period. And that happens around 11, 12 years old, right when we go through puberty, the whole big, right? Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. But no one really talks that much about what happens when that process starts to come to a close, right? And there's all of these cultural beliefs and insinuations about what happens when a woman stops being fertile. And it's often called the crone era. And that word, I hate that word. And not that I hate, but I just really don't love that word. It just makes this part of our life feel, so I like to call it the wise woman era because that's really what we become, right? You can, if you attach to crone, that's awesome, great, attach to it. But I feel like this is me stepping into the very beginnings of my wise woman era, and that feels better for me. So through that process of like, well, how can I make this like probably not that fun menopause journey a little more fun? And so I started thinking about reframing what I was calling it. And then that led into some incredible downloads and spiritual prophecy about how I could actually help disrupt this space and really make a difference in not only how I go through perimenopause and menopause, but other women too. I didn't really understand that because, I'm an artist's wife, I'm a medium, I'm an energy healer. I didn't understand how that equated into menopause health. But after being on the Isogenics products since June last year and getting to know all of the important things from a physical perspective that you have educated me on through nutrition, protein, adaptogens, all of those things, I started taking them. And so I'm 47 and a half, and I'm watching my friends and my sister and my loved ones go through these 40-year-old changes. And even though, right, I feel like I have my own set of health challenges, I'm not having the experience that these other women are having.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not because I'm better than them in any way. I really think and it's not that my genetics are better, because I'm about to tell you why my genetics are actually not better for this, but it is truly because of the choices that I have made through doing the energetic hygiene, working on my mental state, working on my energy, working on learning how to quiet my mind, meditate, reduce stress, right? All of those beautiful things that we talk about just like on a holistic health basis. I started putting it together that, I think those changes and choices that I started making in my late 30s, early 40s really impacted my shift into this post-fertility era. And I am in perimenopause, right? But I am not having these issues. And I'm not a doctor, but I'm not taking anything outside of nutrition, protein, adaptogens. I am on 0 prescriptions, 0,
Yeah.
0. No HRT, I don't need any of that. And I don't think it's because I have good genes, because my mother, who I love dearly and may listen to this podcast at some point, her post-fertility era was the shit show of the shit show of the shit show. Yes. Because every single person in my world heard the reverberation of my mother's decline. She really struggled a long, long, long time. I want to say it was like 15 years that she struggled to have any semblance of who she was come kind of back into who she was. Now that's an extreme case, right?
It's really rough, but to your point, it's like this isn't a hereditary, like what you're experiencing is clearly not hereditary.
Positive things I'm experiencing, right? It's not because, oh, I have these great menopause genes. No, the potential to have actually the biggest shit show menopause in the world is in my genes. And it's not just my mother, because even though my grandmother, her mother, who was very suppressed and repressed and unfortunately passed away at an early age because of it, she went through the changes quietly. Her mother's changes also sent her to an institution, and she did not have a good time with it. It was, she had, like, when a woman experiences death or huge trauma and they're in that stage of life where they're going through post-fertility, it can blow up your life. And that's what happened to my great-great-grandmother. She lost a daughter and lost her husband. And then she ultimately had to go to a hospital. And my grandmother was 6 years old and had to go live in a convent. And that created another whole set of circumstances. So here's my mother, who had a very challenging experience in her 40s. I won't get into all the things, but she had challenging experience, not good energy hygiene, not, she was in therapy and into all the self-help, but only from a mental perspective, not from a physical perspective, which is right, the conversation we're going to have today. And even though she was in therapy and she was reading the books and doing all the things and taking the hormones and taking the antidepressants and all the things, she still had a horrible time physically, emotionally, blew up her life, blew up her marriage. I didn't speak to her for many years. It was such a big thing. Luckily, she is better today. Although she still has her own challenges. Seeing what it did to her motivated me, A, not to have that happen to me, but B, how can I do whatever I can do to help other women not have to deal with that or not have to go through that?
1000%. And you said it so perfectly. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to your mom, because through that experience and that happening for you, we're now here today, right? So listeners, guys, we're here and we're driven more than we could possibly express in words to impact and share with you and help you and show you the way naturally, holistically, whole body self, mind, body, spirit, movement, meditation, like all the pieces. We've got all the pieces. So essentially, your mom and that experience really allowed us to be here in a place and space today where we're like, okay, we're going to make sure that we break this and that people can become educated and they can learn and they can find and lean into a new way. And part of this whole transition, I believe too. So first of all, thanks again to your mom, because I just, this whole thing is coming about because of her and that impact of what it did to you. But people didn't talk about this. They didn't even talk about this topic. Let's call it 4 years ago, 2021, which is when I was going through perimenopause. Okay. People didn't, they just, it seems like now, right? Like within the last, let's say a year to 18 months, it slowly started to become less taboo to speak about it. And why? Because I believe collectively, consciously, we're ready for the conversation now. When we as a collective are ready to process information and shift and change, then it starts to collectively rise to the surface. And there are all these signs and things that are happening. One thing in particular we're going to talk about, which is a specific product that Tammi and I are aligned with, that is so exciting because it helps support this change naturally. But that's been going on for a while. They've had to create the product. They've had to do the research. They've done all of this because the collective consciousness was starting to rise. And now here we are. And the topic is ready to be discussed. And Tammi and I are here on the forefront. Like, okay, we're going to give you the juice. We're going to tell you all the things here in this podcast. This episode is going to be featured, specifically on some of those things, but because we have the answers. So in 2021, I was going through perimenopause. I didn't know I was going through perimenopause, Tammi. Like, A, because nobody was talking about it. right? Didn't really like tell me anything about it. Nobody like out there on social media was talking about it. So I just started experiencing different things in my body. Thank God I was on the same nutrition you're on, because it really mitigates, like you said, like I was going through it, but I was still going through it pretty much unscathed. Okay. So even with the best practices of spirituality and mindset and physically moving your body and having the best support products and not doing things, with hormone replacement therapy or whatever we decide to do, you're still going to have things that happen in your body and in your soul and in your mindset, because our physical bodies are literally changing. Like, Tammi, you could talk about the receptors later, right? So here I am going through these changes, and there were things that were happening in my body, and I was chalking it up to, oh, the world is shut down and I just must be extra stressed, not knowing I was actually going through perimenopause and starting to make that shift, because I was still having a period every single month on the button, right? Other symptoms started to happen. I started losing my hair, okay, clumps. And again, it was when the world was shut down. So I was like, oh, this is COVID hair, because everybody was talking about, right? So everything to me was like, oh, this must be COVID, right? So it was like, I'm losing my hair, right? I have anxiety in the middle of the day out of nowhere. Now, this is a woman, the woman that I was in 2021, with spiritual practices, not as deep, I will say. Not, it's a practice, because we practice and we get better and eventually become a master. But I was doing things, right? I was definitely meditating. I was definitely working out. I was definitely into personal development and mindset. And I was definitely supporting my body with the best products. And I still had the experience of symptoms because my body, right? But it wasn't as bad, right?
Right. It was dialed down.
Right. It was doubled down. And this is part of what Tammi and I want to bring to you guys, because now we've got it all. We've got all the answers, number one, but number two, people are talking about it. And three, if Tammi and I don't come to you screaming from the rooftops about what we have, there is so much information out there now because everybody's talking about it, and it's the hot thing to talk about now, right? Like, let's talk about menopause, and there's all these different products, and there's all these different hormone replacement therapies and all these different things you can do. And yes, some of those things are going to be good if that's good for you and you're, like, everyone's got choices. But if you're someone listening that wants to approach this naturally and holistically, this is the space and the place. And we are going to give you the best information that is proven. It's science backed. It's got research. It has history. It goes back. Tammy's going to be talking to you about things that go back in history that in a second here that kind of bring it all together from a spiritual side of things, right? So like we've got it all. But the wisdom is here. And what I want to say is now, fast forward 4 years later, I am postmenopausal. Okay. So Tammi is going to be able to speak to you from, she's starting the perimenopause journey. I have gone through the perimenopause journey, gone through menopause, and now I'm here postmenopausal. So we've got the whole gamut covered. Okay, guys, like the whole spectrum here. Yeah. And what we're going to be talking about as it relates to hormones and wellness, you don't even have to be perimenopausal, okay, or menopausal. The things that we're going to talk about are going to help moms. They're going to help people that are PMSing, still having a period, childbirth, postpartum, hormonal, like your teenager that's going through puberty, right? And also help men's hormones health. Men hormone health as well. So I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but I had all these symptoms, Tammi. I started to experience bloat too. Like there was bloat in the stomach. The anxiety was crazy. The sleepless nights, right? Like middle of the night, like you wake up and you're like, what? Again, I thought it was just, stress.
Yeah.
And then night sweats. But guys, like we would sometimes have night sweats just with like normal periods anyway, right? So all of this kind of going through, and then as the journey progresses and you start to then go into, menopause where your periods are skipping, then that's a whole nother ball of wax, right? Of symptoms. And then coming out of this now, postmenopausal, it's a whole nother set of symptoms because your hormones are changing. And I'm so excited for you to talk about all the things. I'm going to toss it back to you, but I will tell you right now, like vaginal dryness, a real thing. Libido going down, a real thing. not wanting to feel like you want to work out, a real thing, right? But the difference here is what you were saying at the beginning, which is I choose not to, what do you call it? The Crohn's? What did you call it?
The crone era. The crone era.
Yeah. I'm not going to shrivel up on the side because I understand it. I understand what's happening in the body and I'm supporting it. So now I embrace some of these things that, oh, okay, it's just because this is what's happening physically. And I can utilize XYZ protocol or prescription, right? I can bring in Tammi to help me with a ritual around working with the energies that are happening in the moon cycles and be able to tie that into the things that are happening in the moon cycles of my body, even though I'm not having a period anymore. There's still a moon cycle that happens, right? So
Absolutely.
I can pull that prescription in. I can do Reiki healing. I can pull in deeper meditations. I can pull in manifestation, and I can absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, bring my body on board at the highest level with the products that we have.
Yes.
Tammi, I'm tossing it back to you. I went kind of all over the place, but
No, you did great. And I want to say like a couple of things. One of the things I'm certified in is neuroidentity evolution, which is one of the worlds that brought us together. Your belief about how you can affect your body and what your body can do is partly what gave you the ability to do what you did with your body. And so it's not only coming from a spiritual and a physical perspective, it's getting into that mindset of not only the person we're talking to, but the collective of the woman collectively, because the belief is this happens when we go to menopause. I want to create a movement where, remember how excited you were to get your period? Do you remember that? Do you remember being like 11, 12? Is it here yet?
we were all reading the books. What was the book that we were
Are
reading?
You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, by Judy Bloom, who lives in Key West, by the way, and she's on my bucket list to go down to the Keys and meet her at her bookstore. Such a thing I'm excited to do.
It's happening. It's
And
happening.
because I want to beg
for you.
I want to beg her to write, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret, and my period's gone, and I don't know what to do. Like, where is that book?" Right? So the
Tammi, you're gonna write the book, and Margaret. Wait, not Margaret.
And then
She's gonna write the preface. She's gonna write the preface. That's how it's going down.
Wouldn't that be fucking fabulous?
Yes.
I love that
I just
vision.
said it.
I love that vision. So I want to have a world where women get that excited about menopause, where we're like, "Oh my God, I'm spotting in between periods," where we get so excited because it is what God has shown me very clearly. It is a second blossoming. It is not the end. It is the second blossoming. It is the beginning of a period of time that women have been robbed of with the patriarchal conditioning about what menopause is. We have been robbed of this wise woman era. And I'm getting really fired up right now, but we have been robbed of this. And not only are we robbed individually, but we are robbed collectively of all the beautiful wisdom that needed to come through those baby boomers and the generation before them. Yeah. Where is that wisdom? Right. And that's why, no, we're not standing for this anymore.
No, we're not. This is why we're here. And let me tell you something. I can speak from 100% certainty, truth, and authenticity right now when I tell you I am 51 years old and I am so fucking fired up for this space and place in my life. Like I wake up and I'm like, this is the best time of my life right now. Like, yes. And I will tell you, I feel, so ladies, you got to hear this. And it's 100% true. I feel better in my body now without a period every month than I did when I was going up and down with the period. Okay. So yes, there is going to be a transition. 1000%. I've been there, done it. You are going to feel something in your body, of course, but it's how you, listener, decide that you are going to shift your belief and your mindset right now. Give yourself permission to build a new belief of this is going to be the best time, because I'm telling you right now, I feel great. I'm not doing this in my body anymore. And now I have learned how to work with the energies in a different way to really create what I want to create in my life. Like, there is so much ahead, like in terms of impact. And it's because, Tammi, In 5 years, a billion people are going to be in this phase of their life. A billion women. So the conversation, guys, of what we're talking about right now, it's important because you get to choose. You get to choose how you want this to go down. Tammy's got the prescription.
I just want to invite them to be willing to believe that menopause could be something different than we've been told. Because I realize if you're listening to this and you've not been in this conversation very long, you're probably like, they're out of their fucking minds, these two idiots, and they have no idea what they're talking about. And that's fine if you believe that. I love you. Stay tuned. And I just ask you to be willing to believe that maybe, just maybe, we might know a little something more than you think. And the other point that I wanted to make before was you were saying about during COVID, and you were like, oh, I thought it was COVID belly. Like, you were probably more stressed out during COVID than you were in many periods of your life, right? We all were. We were all in a very high stress situation. And I think that's important because I think the other piece of the puzzle, besides like we talked about the mindset and the body and all that, it is the stress piece. It is the stress piece. Like, if you're under stress, your body is not going to be able to do anything as good as it can. Never mind menopause, right? Never mind.
And there's so much stress in the world right now.
I mean, if you turn the news on, like, it ain't cool. It ain't cool out there.
And if you're not curating your social media and getting out the things you don't want to see, you're going to get bombarded there too, right?
Yes.
So it is massively stressful. And to your point, it's so true, Tammy. Like, COVID was going on, right? And the world was shut down. And then to add another flavor of stress, I decided it'd be a great idea to move across the country and move 3 times. Again, not knowing I was in perimenopause. 1.5 in this body with no period. So I didn't make the correlation that I was in perimenopause until I started stopping having a period a year and a half ago. And the doctor was like, oh, I guess all of that.
Because it didn't hit you that hard, which is amazing, I think that's a testament to the products.
It's a testament to the products. Exactly.
Testament to what's in the products. It's not just because they're products and they pay us. I don't give a shit if they ever pay me again. You need to have what's in these products because you cannot get them on the shelf. Like, you just cannot.
And they're natural.
It's true. That's the truth. And the other part of, so the stress is we live in a world that the news media and the outside world is constantly whipping up the stress. And you have a billion women getting ready to enter this very delicate period of their life, a very sensitive, delicate period. And if they don't understand that and they're allowing themselves to be stressed out and they're allowing themselves to buy into that Western medicine is the only answer to menopause, and they're buying into the shame of post-fertility, then they're not having a good time. And they're not going to have a good, and then the men in their life are not going to have a good time because if she ain't happy, ain't happy. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. Right. So I'm so happy that we're having this conversation. And I'm happy because it's going to give women an alternative, right, to believe that it doesn't have to feel like this. And if you're not anywhere close to menopause and you're still dealing with PMS or whatever, this is for you too. And as we record this, the product that we're talking about specifically has not actually released yet. It's only been in trials and studies. I have not personally put it in my body yet, but after researching and hearing what's in it, I can't wait to get this in my body. I can't wait to give this to my sister. I cannot wait to give this to my mother. I cannot wait to give this to my stepmother. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to give this to the women that I love because I know all of them, every single one of them, at whatever journey they're all stressed and not getting the right nutrients because they're impossible to find on the shelf. And they are not happy in their body. And I know that's to be true. And so I cannot wait to start to give them some of these, like, now that I understand what we're doing with the protein and the adaptogens and how this other product comes in and starts to really support the estrogen and testosterone receptors, right? Which is what this Harmonia product supports, is the natural process of integration in the reduction of estrogen and testosterone in your body, which is a natural process. You're not supposed to be, I mean, listen, you do what you want to do, but if God intended you to be fortifying with fake estrogen and fake hormones, that would be part of the process, and it's not. And actually, humans are special because not all animals, not all mammals have this post-fertility era. Most animals, including elephants, which are beautiful and sentient beings, they are fertile up until almost the end of their time. They do go through, elephants and chimps and stuff, they do go through like a little bit of a step down in their fertility, but they don't go through like a menopause type of situation. It's kind of a special thing. And for those of you that are like me and you have like a really cool affiliation or affinity, is that the right word? With things like orca whales and narwhals and belugas, then you might have some connection to them even above and beyond what you think. Because as I started to do this research, only a few species go through menopause. Most mammals do not go through menopause, right? The vast majority of species, the females remain fertile until the death, right? However, the exceptions are humans, Homo sapiens, right? Us beautiful humans, my friends, the killer whales. I have a personal attachment to. Short-finned pilot whales, right? This is according to ChatGPT, some research I did. False killer whales, which are like those little dolphin killer whales, the black and white ones. And narwhals, which everybody loves narwhals with their big, beautiful unicorn thing. And the belugas. So they are some of the species that experience menopause. The reason that we hypothesize this is the case is because it's this called the grandmother hypothesis, right? And it suggests that species with a long reproductive lifespan, like that can have older females in the tribe, right? They contribute significantly to the survival of their grandchildren by helping with the care, the teaching, survival skills, and ensuring the success of the next generation, right? So this has been studied extensively in killer whales, right? Where postmenopausal females lead the pods and help the younger members find food. So think about if we superimpose that on the human species and what we have been robbed of by all of our beautiful grandmothers in shame and shit show menopause, right? Not then being able to turn around and show the young ones where the food is, how to survive, how to deal with life, right? Whether you're a male or female, we need the wisdom of our grandmothers. We need the leadership
1,000%.
of women. And it's also a testament to why women are the natural leaders of the species. And I'll just say that.
Well, women are the best stewards on the planet. I mean, just saying for all the things. But, when you break that down and you really think about it, it's giving me goosebumps to talk about it. It is absolutely so heartbreaking to think about how many stories are out there of children that have been impacted because their mom or grandma, right, absolutely checked out when menopause hit. And it's absolutely doing a disservice moving forward, right? If we're here and we're listening and we're like, okay, I have an opportunity to change my own narrative and change how I'm going to do this. If you didn't do that, it's a disservice to your ancestral line, people that came before you. You're not doing anything to heal the line.
You're not fulfilling your
Because we came here in this body, our soul chose to heal. And part of that heal and expand and
we
grow.
came to pass the torch. DNA is, those relay races when they give you the torch and then you go, like your DNA is you taking the torch from your ancestors and running with it. What are you going to do with it?
Exactly. So you're like literally, not helping the ancestors who handed you the torch, and you're not passing it forward and healing the generations to come. So we have an obligation here, ladies and gents, to take this topic and run with it. So like the movement that Tammy's talking about, you found this episode for a reason. Nothing is by coincidence. Now we collectively, jointly get to learn about this, change the narrative, blow it up. And we're excited about it. So if you're excited, leave us a comment down below, let us know. But like, we're doing this. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing this. And I feel like this is going to be a 2-part episode. I feel like this episode is us kind of giving the listeners a little bit of background why we like this topic, why we're both so passionate about this topic, where we kind of stand on this topic. And I feel like we'll need another whole episode to dive into, well, Marissa, what did you do? Well, Tammi, what are you doing to have the good results so that the listeners can really get their notepads out and go play by play and say, okay, these are the changes and the shifts that I can start making today to start having an impact on my energy on my physicality, right? And here's the thing that Marissa and I want you to really hear. This is not a pill that you're going to take and you're going to start feeling like you're going to meditate one time and your hot flashes are going to go away. That's not going to happen, okay? This is holistic and natural, so it does take a little bit of aim and consistency over time, but both of us are living examples that if you do that, you will have a very different experience with your body. You will have a very different experience. So we'll give you what we know and all of the answers and resources. And over a course of however many episodes this turns into, we'll give you the details. And your commitment, your responsibility as the person taking it in is to stick with it. If this feels yummy to you, if this feels like I don't believe it in my head, but my heart wants to believe it, that's all you need. That's all you need. I don't care if your mind's not on board. If your heart is like, I wish this was true, that's all you need. Follow it, try it, experiment it, do it to prove us wrong. I would love that. Do it to prove us wrong.
That's how you started.
I have changed my life in so many ways. I'm a Cancer rising, proving things wrong and then going, oh, look, that actually works, because I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. And when it comes to things that are good for me, my mind tries to tell me to go the other fucking way. And that's the truth about everybody's mind, which is why everyone needs neuroidentity evolution, so that you learn not to fall for that bullshit anymore. So that's what I have to say about that.
Right. So two things. A, neuro identity evolution. Tammy's your gal. So definitely, find her on social media. And if mindset is something that you are looking for in terms of, hey, I sought out this year and I really would love some support in this area. Tammi, incredible, 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 incredible person to guide you through that, support you through that, coach you through that. And she is certified in all the things. And it's amazing work. I've been through it myself. It's what I live and breathe day in and day out. And it's part of my prescription of, this whole change of life and this next chapter and why I feel so great. So it's a piece of that. In terms of the menopause and the protocol on all of this, these episodes are going to give you the juice, like Tammi said. We are going to break this up, stick with us. You're going to hear all the things, but we're also going to be offering workshops. And so we will drop those workshops. They will be forever going on. So if you're somebody that's like ready to dive in right now, you're like, listen, give me the juice. Like, I want to know how this works. I am interested in getting on a protocol now. I want to bring my body on board. I want to understand what this product does. I want to see the science. I want to see the workshop. I want to see what it's doing. We have that answer and that solution for you. So we will be in the show notes down below. You will see the workshop link. You can come, you can join us. They're virtual. You can learn all the information on it and we give you the protocol. And then, if it's a good fit for you, we help you. We help you get that body on board. So that'll be ongoing too.
I think that's amazing. And I would love to just say that, I think we already said, but this product is not hormone replacement. This is not estrogen. This is not any of that. It will meet your body where it's at in the process, whether you're in PMS world, you're maybe in your early 20s or late 30s and you're still dealing with your period. And like me, I had what they call dysmenorrhea, which is basically just a term for heavy, 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 heavy periods. I had to be put on arthritis medication when I was like 13 because my cramps were so bad that I could hardly walk. And my mother didn't know what to do with me because she didn't have it like that. My dad's mom did. And if you're in that stage of life, I'm sure this product can help you too, wherever you're at. But it's understanding this product meets you where you're at, whether it's fertility years, post-fertility years, wherever you are, and whatever your specific body needs. That's the other thing that really got my attention. Just like the adaptogens, this product goes into our body, seeks and searches what do you need, and then gives you what you need. And so I think that is a testament to the miracle of God, because these products are natural. These products are plants, and it's not even isogenics that we can give credit to. I mean, I love isogenics and I will give them all the credit, but this is God's credit. This is stuff that God has created. They just made it very convenient and easy for us to find it. You don't have to go find a witch doctor or a medicine man, somebody in the forest of the Amazon cutting up a bark, and giving you a piece of bark to chew on. Like, this is a pill you can take, and it's not hard to get. It's easy to access. So thank you to Isogenics. Thank you to God for this beautiful answer, right? Everything that we need in our body is on this planet and comes from God.
Yes, it does. Beautiful.
Do you remember, maybe you do, how many women after the initial study of Harmonia signed up for the after.
So everybody that did the trial,
It's a
and
powerful piece of information.
it's a powerful statement. So, and we'll drop the link to Harmonia in the show notes too. So if you're somebody that just wants to like order that up, but I will tell you this, the key with Harmonia, as with any protocol or prescription, is consistency. So they have bundled it right out of the gate in a 3-month bundle. So you are in it for 90 days using this incredible product. And at the end of the trial, every single person, 100% of the females, and they are all different, walks of life,
Ages, yeah.
with different things going on in their body. 100% of them reordered this product because it had made such a difference. And we can share the stats. I actually have slides and stuff that we can show that show like what happened when they used Harmonia, like the list of symptoms. So let's just say hot flash, right? Hot flash. They put the result of somebody that's on hormone replacement therapy, right, next to the person that's using Harmonia, right? And did you see that slide? Edible visual, because you've got a synthetic, essentially, solution, and then you have a natural solution and what happened in the body, right? It took the symptoms that people are experiencing, and let's say this is the bar and it's 100%, right? 100%, like they have 100% hot flash every night. The people that were on Harmonia, every single symptom was like right here. Like it had reduced all the way down to like 5%, like whatever the symptom was, because to your point, the product does what it's supposed to do naturally for our specific body. It just, with everything with isogenics, is about rebalancing the body naturally. So whether you're talking nutrition, detoxing, adaptogens, hormonal products, fitness products, like whatever it is that you're looking to improve in the quality of your health, it's bringing it back to balance naturally. That's what we do, right? So this product is just it's just another product in the lineup. You're going to experience that same result, whether you do the protein, the hormone stuff, the adaptogens, the joint support, whatever it is. It's like, it brings you back in. And then you really want to get me fired up. Then you start talking about neuroidentity evolution and getting your mindset, right? And you talk about spiritual practices and grounding in the morning and meditation and all the things that we do, breath work, exercise, right? It taxes. Ladies, let's take and then I'll toss it back to you, but I'm getting fired up.
Go, baby, go.
Take the woman that is ready to check out with, being, what do you call it? A crony?
Yeah, she's a crony.
Crony, right? If you're feeling good in your body, then everything that you want to do 10x's. The foundation, guys, is to get the body on board. And Tammy's got all of this really gorgeous, juicy stuff about spirituality in the body that I don't know if we're going to get into today or another podcast, but the body is the temple. So that has to be like the primary, like that's the anchor, right? It's the anchor. And then when you add in all these modalities like mindset, spirituality, whatever, it just blows it out of the water. It blows it out of the water. And that is why I now am going forward in my life in my 50s and beyond going, this is the best time of my life, because I feel like we all have to grow and stuff. I'm not saying I have everything figured out, but I got a lot of it figured out, right? And now I get to practice and tweak and practice and tweak and practice and tweak. And it's like, my God, like
you're owning your wise woman era. By the time you are this age, right? We hope that we have some things figured out, right?
So proud. I look back at my ancestral and I'm like, are you guys happy? And I look forward and I don't have blood children of my own, but what I do have is this massive world. That's my children. I'm making a difference there. My niece, my stepson who's watching, like they all see that it ripples out. It makes an impact, and it's healing. It's healing moving forward. So I don't know. It's just, I can go on and on and on, but the key is to bring your body into balance. And that's basically what we're doing with this product. And I can't wait for you guys to like join us in a future episode so you can see, the stats on this particular product. or anything with the company, like I said. And then we're going to do these workshops, where you can really dive in and see all of it and get your research, right there at your fingertips. Because it's important to be educated, but layer and stack, right? That's my
There's
advice.
no
Like, work
there's
on
no
the mindset.
one solution. It's a combination,
It's a
right?
combination. That's
You can take Harmonia and that's going to give you so much, but it's if what we're saying is if you layer that with the energy work and the nutrition and the other things, it's
Right.
going to give you the maximum impact. And why wouldn't you want that, right? Why wouldn't
So it's like, we all kind of start with one piece, right? Like, so I started with the body piece, really. That was kind of like what I was focusing on first. And then I started bringing in these other things. And then it just turned life into a super life, right? There's a lot of people that start with a different window. They come into the house through a different door, a different window. But once you're inside the house and you have access to all the different windows and doors, open the doors.
Yes.
Windows.
Yes.
Let it flow.
Here's the thing is like life gets to feel good. Life was meant to feel good. God put you here to feel good and to have a good time, right? What's going on in the world is we've gotten off course a little bit and we're course correcting here. And you feel good, you're 55 or 51, and I'm 47. I'm in perimenopause, you're in postmenopause, and we both feel better than we did earlier. Like, I feel better than I did in my 20s. I feel better than I did in my 30s. I feel fucking amazing. I feel fucking amazing because my body has never been so supported. I started supporting myself spiritually and metaphysically first and physically second. You were saying you were supporting yourself physically first and then spiritually second. And the whole episode we're gonna dedicate to the process of materialization from spirit. Spirit comes before material. That's another whole topic. Doesn't matter which way you come in.
Doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter. If you come in through one and then you add the other, you're going to fucking fly and it's going to feel amazing. And that is your right. And it doesn't matter what's on the news. And it doesn't matter what's happening outside. This is your body. This is your life. You get to feel this way. And when you feel this way and you pass the wisdom on to your generations, whether they're your blood or your non-blood or your clients or whatever, you are doing your little part to show up in this world and fill the gap that is in your little space that only you can fill. Only you can fill. Women are such a big part of this equation. We have been suppressed, we have been depressed, we have been lied to, we have been conditioned, and we are now waking up, and women everywhere are connecting with each other because the truth is in you, it's in me. And when we connect, we bring that out for everybody. And that's what this podcast is about. It's about restoration of balance, restoration of balance.
Absolutely right. And that is women's wellness.
Yeah. Because we're dynamic. You're not going to fix it and be good because you're dynamic. You're always changing. It's not about fixing it. It's about being in balance and being supported so your dynamic, ever-changing system can continue to be good.
Restoring the balance and keeping the balance, baby.
Yeah, that's it. And for this little Libra heart, that's all she cares about, right? I have Moon is in Libra at 29 degrees. And those of you who know what that means understands that I didn't come to play around when it comes to the Libra world, and restoration of balance is, it's also my North Node. So it is.
Isn't this is so interesting that this is coming out right now. This is so great.
Yeah, it's a big fucking deal, right? And people that are listening and know that they're like, oh,
yeah. And my whole thing is about transformation. That's what's in my chart everywhere. So
yeah, because you're a Scorpio, are you? So that's another transformative, very deep sign.
Yeah.
So come along on this journey with us, right? If you're curious, if you're like, oh, this feels really good. I wish this was true. It is true. It is true. Allow yourself to believe that it could possibly be true. And let us know if you have questions about your health, if you're experiencing something, reach out, drop a DM to Marissa, let her know what's physically happening for you. She is a powerhouse of physical knowledge and information. And not only does she help you with what you need to know, she does it in a way that's without the shame, without the blame, with the heart, with the humanity of it, and makes it, oh, I could do that. I could do that, right? It's so easy. It's so easy. It comes through you so easily. So if you have any issues going on physically, don't be afraid. Reach out to Marissa, give her a little message, tell her what's happening for you, tell her what your symptoms are, tell her what's happening, and jump on a call, right? Let us give you some information, and then you can make your decisions. You can feel into it. I'll guide you not to research, but to feel with your heart. Does this feel good to me? right? Maybe Marissa will guide you to go read some books or watch some Dr. Paul podcasts or get some information on the products. And then you can use those two things to make your mental faculty and your emotional faculty so that you can use that will to actually change your life, because you need all three of those things to move the needles, right?
You do. You do. Oh, I love you so much. This was great.
Love you too.
This was great. So I think that's a wrap, Tammi.
Yeah, I feel like this was good. And I feel like there'll be a great little part two.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, be very excited.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Love you. Thank you so much.
I love you too. And I look forward to restoring the balance with you next time.
Next time.